Hello everyone, it is me from the Muzzle Adventures channel. I'm in one, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make Plushtrap. So here he is. He's a cool little bunny. So here we go. The first thing you'll need is this pattern. You can find it on our DeviantArt page. We'll put a link in the description to that. It's only one page. Then you will need some black felt. Right here, as you can see, we got some black felt. I have 2 sheets. You won't need too terribly much, but it's good to have enough around. I'm gonna probably end up using about 2 sheets of yellow, but you'll need some yellow felt, and you'll need some brown felt. You won't need too much of that. Then you'll need some cardboard. This is the front of a spiral notebook that I'll be using the white for the teeth. And you'll need some pipe cleaners. I've got a value pack of colors right here. Then you'll need a pin cushion with a needle and thread, of course. You'll need some paint. So you can use a paint marker or you can just use paint. And you'll need some sort of brush. I've got this sponge brush just to give it texture whenever I need it to have texture. And of course you'll need scissors right here. You also need these are little wood things that you can get from Hobby Lobby. This is called a mini spool, and this is called a round bead. And then we have some nails. These are just 1-inch nails. You can get them at a hardware store or Walmart. And we also have 2 black brads, just like we always have. These little brads, that's for the eyes. You also need a black Sharpie pen, like this, with a fine tip on it. You'll need a glue gun as well. And then you'll need some fabric scissors, of course, to cut out your stuff. You'll also need some cardboard and some thread. White and black are just good threads to keep around. And you'll need some stuffing. Okay, so I've cut out my pattern, as you can see here. And right here, this piece is called a cutaway. So what you do with the cutaway is you don't actually cut it out, so you don't need to cut this pattern out. You're going to use it later, so just keep this piece of paper handy. Okay, so this piece is kind of important. It says here roof of mouth black times 2, and then mouth is yellow times 1. So all that means is cut this piece out exactly the same size as this, twice in black. Then you're going to cut it out again in yellow, but this time you're going to make it have like just a little bit extra around it. Just about that much extra around it, all the way around. Just gives it a little more of a ledge on it. We're going to start this pattern by using our head. It's yellow and it's 2 patterns of them. So we've got this strange looking little head. All you're going to do with this is each one of these triangles you're going to fold over just like this. And then you're going to sew each one of them up just like that. So here and do the end, and then with this one fold here to the end, fold here to the end, and on every single triangle. So this is what you get when you're done. It kind of folds out to make a little head thing. So I just showed each one of these just like that. Now you're going to take these 2 and inside them out just like this. You can have them, and then we're going to sew them together. So whenever you do it, just make sure that your 2 top headlines line up, and then all the other ones should line up. That's the wrong headline here. That all these should line up as you go down. You just kind of position them. So I got the head sewn together. That is what it looks like. The bottom is open just like that. Go ahead and get out your cutaway piece. So I got this thing, and here's a piece that we're gonna cut away. So just take this, and we're gonna put it on our head just like this. So put the straight edge on the straight edge, of course, and line it up. And then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut down here around, just kind of cutting out that cutaway. Okay, so that's what you get when you're done, kind of this little piece. And you're going to do the exact same thing on that other side. You might want to use the same, keep dropping this. You might want to use the same piece again just to make sure that you get the exact same cut. So that is all you do with your cutaway piece. That's all you need it for. So you got these 2 pieces. Oops. These 2 pieces left over. You don't need them anymore. You can go ahead and throw them away. And this is what's left of your head. So let's move on to this cheek right here. As you can see, we have this little V at the top, which M2 cut out for me, thanks M2. And then we have these little slits here. With these slits, you're just gonna cut into the fabric and make a slit. And then with all of these, you're gonna fold them over and sew them up. So with this, you're gonna fold over and sew up. And then once you cut the slits, fold those over and sew them up as well. So whenever you get done sewing it, it will look like this. As you can see, it just has these 3 foldovers. One important thing to remember whenever you're sewing the cheeks and the head is that whenever you do these foldovers, they're all on the same side. See, I fold it over here, and I fold over here. So when I inside it out, they're all looking pretty together and not looking nasty together. So that's the one thing to remember when doing these. The next step is we're gonna take our head and we're gonna take our cheek, and we're gonna end up putting it together. So kind of open up your head a little bit like this. Then you're gonna take your cheek and you're gonna put it in here. And you want this top line of the cheek to line up with the main sew line of the head. So it's like that, and then whenever you sew it, you're gonna sew it down to each side. Alright, so once you do that, you get this. You got all your bad sides on the same side. And when you turn it inside out, you have this. Alright, so we're gonna move on to this part next. So with each one of these, you got your arms, your legs, they're all here. So with each one of them, you need to sew on this side and on the other side. So it's just kind of making a little tube with each of them. You sew down it all the way up from here to there, here to there. And this is the upper arm, so from top to bottom, leaving each end open. With the forearm, we did from here to here, here to here. For the lower leg, we did from here to here and here to here, just like that. For the ear, it's just a rectangle, so we sew from top to bottom. Top to bottom, left both ends open. For the ear, we just sewed from here and went all the way around to the other side, leaving the bottom open. With the foot, this is what we did. We started here and went in each toe and came and sewed, and all we did was leave the bottom of the foot open right here. And then with the hand, we sewed in each finger. We just left the bottom of the wrist open. Alright, let's get out our muzzle. So as you can see, it's 2 times, and we're just gonna start here and sew about like almost to the end, but you want it to still be able to open up like this. So the bottom is open and the side is open and halfway to the top. So you're just gonna sew like this far. I already sewed it, as you can see, but you're gonna sew about that far. Okay, so let's get out our headpiece as we have here, and we're gonna get out our black right here. So this is like gonna be the roof of the mouse. So you have 2 of these, so just get out one of them. So we've got this. I went ahead and pinned it on like this. So that's your piece, and then you're gonna put your head directly on top of it. So as you can see, it kind of laps out right here. That's supposed to do that. So with this piece of the head, as you can see, you're gonna sew it down like this. You're gonna sew on this edge all the way around his head. Whenever you get to this part where the black sticks out, we're gonna take our muzzle piece, which we just sewed, and we need to put it just like this. Make sure that the sides that are bad are both facing out, and we're gonna put it on the edge. So try to line it up with the middle of the head. You can look at this piece. This is the middle. Try to line it up with that, and we're gonna put it here just like that. And then whenever we sew it, we're gonna just bend it to kind of go with the roundness of the thing, and we're gonna sew it onto it like that. So I gave up on trying to explain it, and I figured I'd just go ahead and sew it and show it to you. Okay, so this is what it looks like. You got our head and we got our muzzle attached to it. So the base is the black. As you can see in the sewing, I went around the head and I sewed it to the black just like that. I went all the way around it. In the front, I did leave it open. I left like this much open. Once the edge starts, I left that open in the head department. So you leave that open. Then we've got our muzzle. I just laid it down and kind of curved it to fit the curve of the black. So you can go ahead and inside that out. So this is what it looked like when you're done. Okay, so let's move on to this part. You're gonna need these two pieces, the yellow, which is slightly bigger than the black, and then the black right here. So for the yellow, we're gonna take it and we're gonna use our scissors. Yeah, scissors. And as you can see with our last plush trap, see that stitch line right there? Stitch, stitch, and stitch there, and 2 stitches up front. So we're gonna cut this, just slits, and make those lines so we can stitch them up. So take your muzzle, I'm holding it upside down right now kind of thing, and we're gonna cut here, and we're gonna go over here, cut on the other side across from it. If you want, you can just fold it over and then just cut on the other side. So now we've got 2 slits in the front. These are just slits, not triangles. And then on the sides, we're gonna put a slit on this side, and we put a slit on the other side. So now we've got our slits here and here. We're gonna sew these up. So just fold over each one of them and sew from here to the top. And just make sure when you're doing it that all the good sides are on one side and all the bad sides are on the other. So once you get it sewn, it's gonna look like this, and then when you turn it, it kind of makes like a little bowl thing. So now we're gonna take our black piece and we're going to put it on there. So make sure when you put it on there to sew it up, you want it to be turned inside out like this. You want the bad side to be poking out. So now we're just gonna stick our black piece in there like this, and then we're just gonna sew. Probably you want to start about here on each side. This is the front of the face, like where it has the pooch out, and then we're just gonna sew from here, this thumb, all the way around to the other thumb. You want to leave this back portion open so that we can inside it out, and later we need to put cardboard in it, so make sure you leave it open wide enough. So this is what you get when you're done. I just sewed around, leaving this open big enough for a piece of cardboard. So now let's go ahead and inside this out just like this. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut out a piece of cardboard. Don't look at the crookedness, because I know it's crooked, but it doesn't matter because it's gonna go in. So I just took this yellow piece and I was like, okay, I'm gonna cut out a shape that sort of looks like a mouth. That's what I did. So the main thing is you need to cut out a piece of cardboard that will fit inside this mouth right here, and you can just squish it in there, and then you have your mouthpiece right there. It's just giving this a firm thing to rest on. Now let's take our stuffing and stuff this. Alright, so that is the bottom of our Plushtrap's mouth. That's what it's looking like. It's got the 2 slits and those slits. So you can go ahead and put that aside. Now we're going to get out our head with our muzzle piece. And I cut out another piece of cardboard. I pretty much just copied the last one. Now this one is going to be harder to fit this piece of cardboard in here, but I'm going to put this in here. Alright, so I put this in the bottom. It's got a hard piece on it now. As you can see there, the cardboard is. So just make sure it's pressed tightly down to the black part. And now we're going to stuff the rest of the head. Alright, we got his head all stuffed. That's what it's looking like. And with this muzzle, as you can see, it normally looks like this. We're just going to fold these kind of down just like that into the stuffed area. Then you push it up against its face. You might have to pull this part of his head out a little bit, because now we're going to sew the muzzle directly to his head, just like this. So as you do it, just fix it and like make sure that you put it on, try to put it on straight and everything. Okay, so as you can see with our last plush trap, this is how his muzzle attaches to his face. You just sew from here to here, and we're gonna ladder stitch that. So if you don't know how to do that, I'm gonna try and show you. So I'm gonna go in, I've got the thread started. I'm gonna go in one side, then I'm gonna switch over to the other side and go in and out again, just like that, in and out, and then you're gonna go back to the other side. You're just alternating sides as you go around his muzzle. So this is what it kind of looks like when you're done. This is pretty much his head. So you just ladder stitch all the way across, and it's okay if it doesn't look perfect, because whenever you spray paint it black, it'll have a better look about it. Alright, let's take out our other side, or like our lower jaw, and we're gonna ladder stitch this up. So you could really ladder stitch this, or you could glue this together. If you do glue it, be careful not to let the stuffing squish out. but I'm just gonna ladder stitch up the back, and it doesn't have to look perfect, but just do your best. Alright, so we got it sewed up in the back, and that's what it's looking like. Alright, so this is what your head's looking like. We have the nails that are 1 inch. Let's go ahead and get them out. We're gonna need 4 of them actually. So get out 4 nails, and it's okay, these nails will not be in any position that they could possibly hurt you. Don't worry. So these are a deal to put in before you sew up the head, but I forgot, of course. So we're just gonna go ahead and cut the eye holes. So as you can see with our last plush trap, oh, don't fall over, boy. He has eye holes. They're just cut in the felt. So I'm just gonna take my scissors. Alright, so that's what it looked like. I had to change scissors. So I just made 2 little slits in here. And with Plushtrap eyes, there are more ovals that go up and to the side. That's what I did. So I'm just gonna cut out the eye holes. So I got the eye holes cut. You can really, it's all depends on what style you want to go for. Now let's take our nail. I'm taking the pointy end. Don't worry, it won't kill you. It's just the nail. And we're gonna stick it up into his head, and we're gonna aim for this seam line right here. Gonna try to stick it out of this near the seam line. Oh, there we go. Got it. So that is 1 nail. So he's got a nail in his head now. Yeah. So as you can see with our last plush trap, he has nails in his head as well. Right there. He has 2 of them, and they're just kind of off to the side. It's where his bunny ears are, of course. So I'm going to take our second nail, and I'm going to put this one closer to that line. As you can see with our last plush trap, you put him just past his second head slit, just past that. Alright, so now he has all 4 nails in his head just like that, and that is what it's going to look like. Alright, now we need to get out our mini spools. That's what they're called. You're going to need to take 6 of them and spray paint them silver. Alright, so once they're spray painted, they're going to look like this. Now we're going to be working with our lower leg, our upper leg, and our feet, and also these spools. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is get out some of your pipe cleaners. And you're going to put 3 of them and shove them into this spool. If you can't fit 3, that's fine. You might have a different gauge wire in your pipe cleaners. But take your foot, and we're going to bend it at the joint down here, just like this. This is going to be the base of our plush trap. So it's going to be just like that. And then we want to be able to put our foot on here. So I'm going to trim these wires and make it so that the foot can fit on. So now the foot can fit on nicely and just like that. So you got your foot on the end, and we're gonna go ahead and get out our glue gun, and you need to fold the back you need to fold the foot back just like this. I see how I folded it. Just gonna have it folded like that, kind of in the back, and then we're just gonna kind of fold the whole foot in as we go along. So as you can see with our last plush trap, that's kind of what we did back here. It's got that little folded in area and stuff, and people don't really ever see the back of feet very much, so it's okay. Just keep your foot folded up in the front, just like that, and squirt some glue down in the hole. And we're gonna put this down in there. Okay, so we got it in there. Now we're gonna take some glue and put it on his heel. Just like that, just to kind of glue down the felt. Then you can take these and kind of fold them in as you go, just like that, so that it kind of cinches up the back of his foot nicely. Alright, so once you get your foot all glued on together, let's go ahead and shove on another one of these little spool things. Alright, so we've got that one put on. Now we're going to take our lower leg and we're going to put it, like we got it right sided out, we're going to put it on the pipe cleaners and just shove it down. So that's what it looks like, and you can take this joint piece and shove it down all the way so that it kind of is put at the knee joint, right about there. so that you have a little bit poking out at the bottom and a little bit poking out at the top. As you can see, it just looks like this with our last plush trap. You could take your glue and just pull this part up and then put a little bit of glue here and a little bit of glue on the back, and then that will secure your leg piece down. You can just put it on the pipe cleaner, and then we're just gonna smush this piece down on top of it, just like that. Alright, let's get out our upper legs next. So I put it on the leg already. It's just gonna go slide on and stay right here, and you can put some glue down to keep it on there. Just remember that you always put the side that's wider at the top. Alright, so this is what your leg is gonna look like when it's done. Now that you're at the top, you can just snip off these pipe cleaners about an inch away. Just make sure you leave enough to sew in later. So that's your leg. You can go ahead and do the exact same thing for your other leg. Okay, so these are both of our legs. This is what they're looking like. So yeah, there we go. Alright, we're gonna start working on our arms now. So go ahead and put one of your spools on 3 pipe cleaners again. So we got that going. We need to get out all of our arm pieces, the upper arms and the lower arms, and make sure you keep them separate. So these are going to be the lower arms here. They're the smaller ones, and the bigger ones are going to be the upper arms. So we're going to start with our hand as usual. So the hand actually does not have one of these spool joints here. It just goes from hand to arm like that, and then there's a spool joint here in his elbow. So we're going to put our pipe cleaners into this hand and glue them in there. Right, we got our hand glued on now, and so we're gonna push the next part on, which is our lower arm. We're just gonna push it down here, just like so, and then we're gonna glue that there. Alright, so we got it on just like that. Now we're gonna take the upper part of our arm and we're gonna thread it onto our pipe cleaner, just like this. And then once we get it down there, we're just gonna put some glue on this joint of the spool right here, just like kind of on top of it, and then we're gonna put down this part of this. Go ahead and trim this pipe cleaner just like that, leaving about this much sticking out, and you can do the same thing on the other hand. So once you get the arms done, this is what it's gonna look like. And it's a good idea to go and locate your thumb. You say, okay, this is my thumb because it's fatter than my pinky, and turn in your pipe cleaners the way. If you look at the way your hand is built, your thumb is on the same side that your shoulder connects to your body. So that is how we're going to do it. The shoulder is going to connect to the body here, and its thumb is there. So point the shoulder that way, and it's just a good reminder to have. Alright, we're going to start working on the ears next. So get out some dark brown felt that you have and some black felt, and then you have the top of your ear and the middle of your ear, which there's only 2 parts, so I guess the bottom of your ear. Alright, first thing to do is get out some pipe cleaners. It really doesn't matter what colors you use. I'm going to use this scrap of blue that I have left. I'm going to use 3 pipe cleaners to begin with. So we just need to have all 3 of these bunched together. Then we're going to get out some black felt, and we're going to cut a strip. It doesn't really matter how wide it is. I'm just make it about this wide. This is going to create a joint for us inside of Springtrap's ears. Because as you can see in here, can you see that? Yeah, there's a little black ring of felt. So we have this strip, and we're gonna just take our pipe cleaners, and I'm gonna put it in the middle. I'm just gonna glue this strip in the middle because I figure that's probably where you need it. So just wrap it around once, put some glue down, and then seal it up. So once you have that, just go ahead and cut off the excess here on the ends, just like that. So that is your little intersecting joint that you have. So that's good. We got that going. Now let's get out our ear pieces. So we're going to use this piece and we're going to use this piece. Go ahead and inside them out. Now we're going to take the 2 ear pieces that we have, and we need to create some black copies of these. So what this is for is we're going to make it so that we can cut holes in the ears and it'll be fine. You won't see yellow through the other side. So I'm just going to start with a piece of black felt. I'm going to lay this on there and decide, okay, this piece of black felt would fit in this yellow ear. So I'm gonna cut out some pieces that will fit in these yellow things, and I'll show you. Okay, so as you can see, I have cut out 4 black inner ear things for the top ear, and there's only 3 up here because I already put 1 in here. So this is what it's gonna do. If you can kind of see, it kind of is just gonna sit on the wall of the yellow felt to make a barrier between the hole and the felt. So now we're gonna stuff another one in there. So you need 4 of these because each piece of felt needs a piece of black behind it. Take it and just stuff it down in there. So this is kind of what you're gonna do with the ears. So this is the lower ear, that's what you do. Then you take this and stuff it in the top of your ear, doing the exact same thing, just like that. So on the inside it's black felt, on the outside it's yellow. So that is what we're gonna do with our ears. If there's any black sticking out, just go ahead and trim it off. Now we're gonna take our pipe cleaners again, and we're gonna take the top of the ear, and we need to trim these pipe cleaners to make sure that the top of the ear can fit on. So it's gonna fit on just like that. It'll cover up the black about that much. So you can just go ahead and stick glue down in here and glue on those pipe cleaners to the thingy, to the ear. So it'll end up looking like that. Then on the bottom, you can trim it. Give yourself a good amount of space down here, and the skinny end of this piece, if there's a skinny end, will go towards the head. So make the fat end go towards the other end of the ear. So it'll look like that. And then that's all you do. You can put some glue under here. Just put some glue on these pipe cleaners just to hold it there. So that's what your ear is starting to look like. Okay, so we're gonna get out our brown felt, and we need to cut some pieces for his ear. It's like the inner ear things, but we just didn't put it in the pattern because these are totally autistic. Just cut some brown pieces that will fit on your ears that look sloppy and, you know, broken. Okay, I got these cut out. So I really just cut out some brown pieces that kind of look like they might be messed up and molded or whatever is wrong with Spring Bunny Plushtrap. I called him Spring Bunny. Anyways, so that's what it's gonna look like. Then all you have to do is glue these on. So this is what it looks like whenever you're done putting all that together. So now, as we know, Plushtrap has holes in his ears. So now it's time to just do some creative cutting. So why we put these black pieces in is because now it's time to cut. So you can normally just cut like that, just snip it with your fabric scissors, and then it won't cut through to the black normally. So just be careful as you go and cut you some rips in those bunny's ears. Alright, so this is what you're gonna look like. You got these rips, put one in the front and one over there, which you can't really see, but that's okay. So that is how you do the ears. You can go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other ear. Alright, now it's time to get out our torso. So this part is kind of involved and it's hard to sew, but that's okay. It's just it's hard to get everything to stay in its proper place. So let's just go ahead and take one side of our torso. We're going to take our leg, turn it upside down, and face the toe towards the neck. Just like this. And then we're going to have it hang off just a little bit, about that much. Whenever we put it together, it'll be kind of like Plushtrap's legs here. And then with the other leg, you're going to turn the toe towards the neck and put it down as well. Okay, so we got those pinned there. So that's what the legs are looking like. It's so whenever you fold this out, it'll all be right side out. So now we're going to take our arms and we need to put these behind the legs. So go ahead and fold the legs out. We're going to put them here, and with this, we turn that, but we don't really need it. Just remember which way you turned it. We're just going to have the arms just like this. Put them out straight and put them on there, having a little bit stick off the edge. So that when you inside it out, it'll be like that. Alright, so now we've got all these arms in place and everything. This is the hardest part of sewing in this entire pattern, I would say, just because you have to fit all of these appendages inside of this body while you sew it. So we're going to take our other piece of the body and we're going to wrap these arms away. Just kind of stuff them somewhere. Just like that. And then the legs can come up like this. Okay, so they all fit in there, right? So now we're gonna put this here and we're gonna try to sew this on each side, just like that. Alright, so this is what it looks like when you're done. It's like a beautiful bouquet of appendages or arms and legs and stuff. So I'm going to get these scissors and I'm going to cut off the extra pipe cleaner and then inside it out. When you're doing it, when you're sewing it, just be patient with it. It will work. It's just hard. One important thing is whenever you do sew it, leave the very top open. Leave the very top open. Don't sew to here, of course, and also don't sew past here. Like once you go past the arm, stop and don't sew any further. So once you get it all inside it out and everything, this is what he's gonna look like. I went ahead and bent his arms here and I bent his legs in so he'll stand up and stuff. Okay, so let's get out the head. So now we're gonna be cutting out a piece of black felt that looks just about like this. It's just kind of a oval and one side's flat and the other one's kind of curved. As you can see, this is what it looks like on the back of Plushtrap's head. It's just like that. It's pretty much just gonna hold his jaw and his head together. So take the back of your head like this, put them together just like this, line up in the front and make sure they're lined up and everything, and then we're gonna put the flat side of our piece of felt on the back. It's okay if your felt doesn't look exactly like mine, but this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put it like that and then we're gonna glue it on. Okay, so we got it on, and you can open and shut his mouth now. Okay, let's go back to our ears. As you can see, I cut the pipe cleaners out of this one. Like they're right there, but I cut them really short so that they wouldn't stick out of the ear. You can do that with the other ear as well. Now we're going to be sticking them on our nails. So we're nail proof. Well, we're making sure these nails aren't going to poke no more. So we're going to put them on just like this. Just shove them on kind of like that. Then we're going to glue them. So to do that, just put some glue in this ear and then shove it onto our nails, and you probably want to hold it for at least 30 seconds to make sure it sets well. Alright, so that's what it looks like when you're done. So to make sure that these nails are stuck in tightly, you might want to clear out the stuffing out of the way, kind of like this, and then jam your glue gun in there and give it some glue on the base of the nails. Just pump a lot in there, and then you can kind of carefully push it back. Be very careful though. And it's gonna make sure that these nails are standing up, and just hold them there for at least 30 seconds. Okay, he's got his bunny ears on now, so that's what he's starting to look like. Next thing we're going to work on is this rip that goes all the way around his waist. As you notice, the rip stops here at the same on each side, so you can do the same thing. Just make a nice rip in the front and then stop and then make a rip in the back. Okay, so he's got rips all around him, but now we have the issue of you can see pipe cleaners in there. So we're gonna go ahead and cut out a black strip of felt, and we're gonna make a little tube thing inside of him. So just go ahead and make a tube. Then you're just gonna trim it to an approximate size, then just stuff it down in there. Alright, so now we have our black tube in there. You can see it. So we're just going to pull this bottom part up a little bit and slap some glue in there just to hold it there. You can do the same thing on the back as well. Okay, so that's looking good. That's how we're going to do it. Now I'm going to get the stuffing out. And I'm going to stuff him. So whenever you stuff him, make sure that you stuff inside of this black tube. Okay, so that's him stuffed. He doesn't require too much stuffing because Plushtrap's not a very fat animatronic, but that's okay. So now we're gonna get a piece of brown. This is just get a piece of brown that you think, oh, this would be a good belly spot size. So make sure you leave some at the top, some yellow sticking out, so that whenever we fold that over for his neck later, it won't get all caught in there. So we need to have the brown, and then we're gonna put some black behind the brown, where we're going to cut holes. So this should do for black. So all you do is cut the black so that it will fit behind the brown, and then you're going to glue down the black, cut holes in the brown, and then glue down the brown. Alright, so that's what his chest is looking like so far. Alright, let's get out our eyepieces. They're called round beads, but we're going to be using them for eyes. So we need to take out 2 of these. Now we're going to be painting them white. So I'm going to use this sponge brushy thing, and I found out it's called a spouncer, apparently. Anyways, I don't know. It looks like a sponge on a stick. So now I'm going to use my acrylic paint. I think that's acrylic. So I've got my paint here. I'm just going to dip this in it, like so. Got it on there. And now I'm just going to paint my eyeballs. Since this is washable, I'm going to just use my hand. So we can just paint it on there like this. So as you can see, the sponge kind of gives it a dab look. So whenever you do it, don't wipe it, dab with your sponge. So yeah, that's looking good. Now I have to wait for this to dry, and we're going to do the other eyeball. Okay, so while our eyeballs are drying, we're going to cut out a piece of black felt, just like this. This is about this wide, and it is going to act as the background for our eyes. Now we're just going to take this and stuff it in the eye cavity, I guess you'd say. So we're going to take it and stuff it. Well, actually, we need to take out some of this stuffing in here. Just pull out some stuffing so that it makes kind of a hole in there. And then squish it all back in the back. Then you're just gonna put your black felt in there behind the eyes. Alright, so that's what the black looks like inside of our eyes. Just like that. If you want, you can glue it down, but be careful as you do it so that the glue doesn't pop out the eye hole. Okay, so hopefully your eyes are dry now, so that's good. Now we're going to take our eyeballs and we're going to put a small piece of black felt here at the bottom. Just like that. So it's gonna look like that, and it doesn't have to wrap all the way around. It's just kind of a eyelid thing, kind of a sickly eyelid. Alright, so it looks like that when you're done, and so now you can just cut it in kind of a triangle shape like this, and you just cut the edges off like that, and you can keep that triangle there if you want it. It might help in the end. Okay, so now it's time to get out our black brads. Now let's get out our eyes. So you're going to take your eye, and this is going to be kind of difficult, but you're going to put a little bit of glue here in the front. Try not to get it too gluey in there. And then you're going to stick your eye into it. I'm going to try and squish it down and center it as you squish it into all the glue. And then just give it a nice firm press after you're done. So you can do the same thing on the other eye. Alright, we got both eyes done. It's now time to stick them in to our Plushtrap's head. So to do this, we're just gonna kind of settle them in there. Boom. Settle the other eye down in there. Okay, so once we get these eyes in there, we just need to position them and then glue them in. Alright, so I got his eyes in. That's what he's looking like. He's looking good. Okay, one thing to do before we forget is to glue on his nose. Because knowing me, I will forget it. So just cut out a little black piece of felt and glue it on. Alright, we're almost done with our Plushtrap. So now we need to take our body, and right here where we left it open, we need to ladder stitch it up on each side. Just ladder stitch up that, and then we're gonna put on our head, squish it down, and ladder stitch it to the body. So you're just gonna go all the way around the head, ladder stitching the whole way, and that will get you your bunny's head.
Okay everybody, hey, I'm M2, I'm taking over for him one here because I am the only dentist of the Mario Muffet Adventure plush making thingamabob. So as you see, old Plushtrap has a lot of teeth. Now they're kind of thin, and I'm going to show you how to put them on. So what you need is you need to take some cardboard. It's very thin cardboard. It's really the back of a notebook, to tell you the truth. It's white on one side, that's the important part. You take it and you cut it into strips. Like this. They're about this wide. I mean, it's really up to you how wide you want your teeth to be. What you do is you cut out a bunch of strips like this, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so what I did was I took those long pieces and I cut them to little short pieces, about 1 inch long. It could be shorter, but the whole point is so you won't burn yourself. Now we want the white to show when we're gluing this on, so yeah, you need a glue gun. So you're gonna glue on the back, which is, in this case, the black. If it's white on both sides, you're using, I don't know, a note card or something, whatever. Alright, now we're just going to put it over the black. Right about there. Press it down. And it's going to show up like that. And what you're going to do is fill out the rest of the teeth using the same method. And then we'll put the lips on. We'll trim these at the end, so don't worry if they're really long right now. So I've got him propped up like this so that I can get to his mouth. You just got to pry it open. You do the bottom row, do the top row, and then we do the lips. Okay, so you end up with something like this, which may look very creepy, very scary, but that's what you end up with. You've got to trim the teeth now, of course. So you can see on here, I have very short teeth. First, I'm going to trim it like this. After you put the lips on, then you can decide how long you want your teeth to be. Okay, so now we got our lips. What are our lips? They are long pieces of felt. This is how you measure to see if your lip's long enough. It's just going to roll over like this and cover from cheek to cheek. Now the thickness is, as you can see, a little bit bigger than a tooth, maybe 1.5 tooth, it doesn't really matter. What it's going to do is just cover the bottom part of your teeth and the black like that. And what we're going to do is just glue it down like that.
Alright, his teeth are done. Thank you them two for doing that. So all I did was trim them and they're looking nice. The next step is to get out your Sharpie pen and draw all of his markings on his face and lips. So as you can see, there's some there and there, just kind of dirtying him up, and on his mouth and everything, he's got all these crack things. So you can just go ahead and draw those with the marker. Then what you're gonna do is spray paint him lightly with black spray paint to give him the dirty look. And now we're done with Plushtrap. Good job, you finished the pattern! So as you can see, we decided not to spray paint ours and not to put the lines on his face just because we wanted a cute Plushtrap. We thought, oh, that might be cool. So this is what yours will probably look like. So thanks everyone for watching the pattern, and I hope you liked it. Make sure to like it if you did. So see you later. Bye.